And now let's go into market reports, local and international business news for today. Micro, small and medium enterprise MSME owners in Ogun State were encouraged to capitalize on the Dapo Abiodun-led government's recent initiatives aimed at fostering business growth. At a hybrid stakeholder meeting in Okemosan, Abeokuta, the State Commissioner for Industry, Trade and Investment, Adebola Sofela, underscored the government's commitment to creating a conducive environment for businesses. Sofela highlighted several key reforms and initiatives designed to enhance the state's business climate and attract private sector investments. Central to these efforts are streamlined business registration processes through automation aimed at reducing both time and costs. Moreover, MSMEs are being actively included in government procurement processes to bolster entrepreneurial opportunities within the state. Among the initiatives presented to business owners were programs promoting digital literacy, the adoption of e-commerce platforms, and the development of industrial parks, hubs, and economic zones. These initiatives are intended to modernize business operations and stimulate economic activity across various sectors in Ogun State. Dr. Femi Egbesola, the national president of the Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria, expressed strong support from MSMEs towards the state government's initiatives. This collaboration is poised to strengthen the partnership between small businesses and the government, fostering a mutually beneficial environment for sustainable growth and development. The stakeholder meeting saw participation from various agencies, including the German Agency for International Cooperation, the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, and the Nigerian Exports Promotion Council, among others. This diverse participation underscores the broad-based support and collaboration necessary to effectively implement the government's initiatives and drive economic advancement in Ogun State. Overall, the gathering served as a platform for dialogue and collaboration between government officials, business owners, and industry stakeholders. It highlighted a shared commitment to advancing MSMEs, leveraging new opportunities, and collectively contributing to the economic growth of Ogun State. As these initiatives take root, they are expected to further strengthen the state's position as a hub for business innovation and investment attraction in Nigeria. At Peterside, the founder of Stanbic IBTC Bank has announced his departure from the banking sector after a distinguished career spanning 35 years. Peterside revealed this decision in a statement on his verified social media page, expressing gratitude for his journey since February 2, 1989, when he began as either CEO, chairman, or bank director. At 68, he acknowledged the necessity for all good things to conclude and credited God for his achievements. Having devoted decades to enhancing Nigeria's banking landscape, Peterside now shifts his focus towards advocacy, charity, philanthropy, and human capital development through his foundation. He originally founded investment bank and trust company IBTC, which evolved into Stanbic IBTC Bank through various mergers. Establishing the bank at 33 showcased his entrepreneurial spirit amid a landscape where peers were often reliant on inherited wealth. Peterside's tenure at Stanbic IBTC Bank saw him steer the institution to profitability and uphold high standards until his resignation in 2017. Subsequently, he directed his energies towards Anab Jets Limited, founded in 2015, and assumed roles on the board of the Standard Bank of South Africa Limited and Standard Bank Group Limited. Recognized for his deep financial acumen and extensive business expertise, Peterside's educational foundation in economics from the City University London and the London School of Economics and Political Science further bolstered his career. Raised by Pa Clement Atowari Peterside, a notable ophthalmologist and retired controller of medical services in the old Rivers State, Peterside's upbringing instilled values that shaped his impactful career trajectory. Amid a persistent inflationary environment, the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) has reported a significant 32% increase in the cost of a healthy diet, rising from 786 naira per adult per day in December 2023 to 1,041 naira in May 2024. This rise outlined the NBS This rise, outlined in the NBS School HD report released yesterday, reflects escalating prices across essential food categories such as starchy staples, legumes, nuts and seed, and animal source foods. The NBS analysis reveals a progressive monthly increase in Core HD over the period from December 2023 to May 2024. In January 2024, the cost surged by 9.2% to 858 naira, followed by further increments in February, 9.3% to 938 naira, March 4.7% to 982 naira, and April 5.4% to 1,035 naira. May saw a slight additional rise of 0.6% to reach 1,041 naira per adult per day. The national average cost of a healthy diet was 1,041 naira per adult per day in May 2024, stated the NBS report, highlighting a steady upward trajectory over the past 6 months. Compared to December 2023, the Core HD was notably 32% higher, emphasizing the growing financial strain on maintaining a nutritious diet. The report identified key drivers behind this increase, pinpointing starchy staples, legumes, nuts and seed, and animal source food as the primary contributors. Conversely, vegetables and fruits experienced comparatively smaller price hikes month on month. Regarding cost distribution by food group, the NBS noted that animal source foods accounted for 36% of the total Core HD, despite providing only 13% of the total calories. Fruits and vegetables, known for their nutritional value, constituted 11% and 12% of the Core HD respectively, yet offered less in caloric contribution. Legumes, nuts and seeds emerged as the least expensive food group, comprising 7% of the total cost. The report also highlighted regional disparities in Core HD across Nigeria. Ebonyi State recorded the highest average Core HD at 1,225 naira per adult per day, while Kano State reported the lowest at 898 naira. At the zonal level, the Southeast exhibited the highest Core HD with 1,189 naira per day, whereas the Northwest displayed the lowest average at 919 naira per day. Overall, the NBS findings underscored the growing financial burden on households to afford a nutritious diet amidst escalating food prices. The data provides critical insights for policymakers and stakeholders to address food security challenges and mitigate the impact of inflation on vulnerable populations across Nigeria. Approximately 150 banks have expressed keen interest in participating in Nigeria's newly launched consumer credit scheme, according to Dada Olusegun, Special Assistant to President Bola Tinubu. This disclosure, made via social media, highlights the robust response from both commercial banks and microfinance institutions to join the lending ecosystem facilitated by Credit Corp. The Consumer Credit Scheme, inaugurated on April 21 with its initial phase aimed at providing credit facilities to civil servants, has garnered substantial attention. Olusegun noted that over 40,000 civil servants are slated to receive the first installment of payment soon, marking a significant step forward in the scheme's implementation. At 150 banks, both money deposit and microfinance institutions have expressed interest to be part of the lending ecosystem that is being created by Credit Corp to essentially undergird a national consumer credit system, stated Olusegun. He emphasized the inclusive nature of the initiative, revealing plans for subsequent phases to extend credit access to the general population beyond civil servants. Furthermore, Olusegun highlighted the strategic collaboration between Credit Corp and the National Identity Management Commission (NIMC) to integrate national identity numbers (NINs) into a robust credit scoring system. This integration aims to enhance the efficiency and inclusivity of the consumer credit scheme by leveraging comprehensive identity verification. Looking ahead, Olusegun projected that by mid-2025, the scheme could benefit up to 500,000 Nigerians, underscoring its potential impact on broadening access to consumer credit across the country. This ambitious goal aligns with efforts to expand credit penetration, as noted by Dr. Tunde Popola, Group Managing Director, CEO of CRC Credit Bureau Limited. At the CRC Finance and Credit Conference 2024, Popola highlighted the rise in credit penetration to 14% in Nigeria, emphasizing the importance of further efforts to include more Nigerians in the formal credit system. In summary, the enthusiastic response from banks and strategic partnerships outlined by Olusegun reflected a concerted effort towards realizing a comprehensive consumer credit framework in Nigeria. As the scheme progresses, its success in facilitating financial inclusion and stimulating economic growth will depend on effective implementation and continued collaboration among stakeholders. Federal government announced yesterday that investors have raised $50 million in the past 6 months to bolster infrastructure development for the adoption of compressed natural gas (CNG) in Nigeria's transportation sector. Alongside this initiative, the government revealed a 50% discount on conversion kits priced between 1.2 million naira and 1.5 million naira, aimed at encouraging transporters to transition to CNG, which offers savings of up to 77% in energy costs. During the stakeholders meeting themed Driving Sustainable Transportation, Accelerating CNG Adoption in Nigeria, Mr. Michael Oluwagbemi, Program Director of the Presidential Initiative on Compressed Natural Gas Program, PCNGI, highlighted the collaborative efforts with banks to facilitate funding for the program. The forum, co-organized by Portland Gas and PCNGI, emphasized plans to introduce CNG-powered buses and tricycles in Abuja to enhance public transportation. Mr. Oluwagbemi remarked, since our inaugural investor forum in December 2023, we have seen substantial participation from companies now investing over $50 million in the sector. This exceeds any previous mobilization effort over the past decade combined. We are also facilitating vehicle conversions for ordinary Nigerians, particularly transport operators. He continued, last month, on May 29, we launched the Conversion Incentive Program to simplify the adoption of CNG. This initiative is supported by private sector partners, development funds, and banks eager to finance this transformative endeavor. Additionally, to promote affordable public transport, we are introducing CNG buses and tricycles in Abuja, offering conversion kits at a 50% discount to the transport sector. Speaking on the advantages of switching to CNG, Mr. Foladrimi Mohammed, Managing Director of Portland Gas Limited, highlighted its cost-effectiveness compared to petrol and diesel, as well as its potential for extended mileage and cleaner emissions. Mohammed detailed the conversion process, noting that it involves installing a CNG tank, fuel lines, regulators, and accessories, which can typically be completed within 3 hours at certified conversion centers. In conclusion, the push towards CNG adoption underscores efforts to reduce fuel costs, improve air quality through lower emissions, and extend vehicle lifespan, positioning CNG as a viable and sustainable alternative fuel for Nigeria's transportation needs. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us and watch us on Atn socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Federal government announced on Thursday its plans to commence the disbursement of 150 billion naira in loans to micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, and manufacturers by the end of July. This initiative forms part of the Presidential Conditional Grant Scheme, which aims to provide financial support to businesses across Nigeria amidst economic challenges exacerbated by government policies. Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Uzoka-Anita, shared this update via her official communication channel, emphasizing the government's commitment to supporting Nigerian businesses during tough economic times. She highlighted that 60% of the anticipated 1 million beneficiaries of the presidential conditional grant have already received a non-repayable grant of 50,000 naira each across all 774 local government areas in the country. The Presidential Conditional Grant Scheme, unveiled in December 2023 as part of the Presidential Palliatives Program, allocates 75 billion naira to MSMEs and an additional 75 billion naira to the manufacturing sector, Minister Uzoka Anite explained. We understand the challenges facing businesses today, and this fund is designed to provide critical financial assistance to navigate these difficulties. Acknowledging the patience of applicants awaiting disbursement, the minister reassured them of ongoing efforts to expedite the process. We are nearing the final stages of vetting for the MSME and manufacturing loans. Applications remain open and disbursements are scheduled to commence by the end of July, she affirmed. Addressing concerns about the selection process for grant recipients, Minister Uzoka Anite clarified that selection is based on random computer generated selection rather than the order of application. She attributed delays in the disbursement process to challenges such as incorrect data, duplicate applications, and invalid entries, which required meticulous scrutiny for eligibility and validation. The minister also highlighted the broader impact of the Presidential Conditional Grant Scheme, noting testimonials from beneficiaries on how the grants have positively transformed their businesses and livelihoods. She encouraged constructive feedback from citizens while urging against abusive language or hate speech, underscoring the government's commitment to transparency and accountability in its intervention programs. As the government prepares for the upcoming loan disbursement and continues its efforts to support Nigerian businesses, Minister Uzoka Anite reiterated the importance of collaborative efforts in building a more prosperous Nigeria. Dr. Rabiu Olowo, CEO of the Financial Reporting Council (FRC), emphasized at the 2024 Annual Industry Conference of the Nigerian Actuarial Society in Lagos that artificial intelligence (AI) will not replace professional actuaries in Nigeria. They will not be registered for such services. The conference themed Actuaries and AI: Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats, underscored the role of human expertise in actuarial practice despite advancements in AI technology. From a regulatory standpoint, regardless of AI's complexity and capabilities, the human element in actuarial practice remains indispensable, Dr. Olowo affirmed. The FRC categorically will not register AI to substitute professional actuaries in Nigeria, ensuring the job security of our professionals. However, associates must adapt to the evolving landscape as AI has the potential to impact their roles significantly. He cautioned about the rapid advancement of AI, urging actuaries to stay abreast of technological developments to remain relevant. Dr. Olowo highlighted the need for robust regulatory frameworks to oversee AI applications, addressing ethical concerns and biases inherent in AI algorithms. Currently, Nigeria faces a severe shortage of actuaries, with fewer than 50 professionals compared to nearly 2,000 in South Africa. To address this gap, Dr. Olowo announced the Nigerian Actuarial Development Program (NADP), aimed at promoting the actuarial profession from secondary school awareness campaigns to university degree programs. Currently, only 4 out of 273 universities in Nigeria offer actuarial science degrees. NADP aims to raise awareness, establish physical tuition centers, provide financial support examinations, and collaborates with professional bodies to reduce exam fees, he explained. The program initiated in May 2024 involves stakeholders from academia, regulatory bodies, and industry players to streamline efforts and resources effectively. Dr. Olowo also highlighted collaborations with international bodies like the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries, UK, to accredit Nigerian academic programs and develop local mortality and morbidity tables. He stressed the importance of passing the Nigerian Actuarial Charter Bill and urged collaboration between the Nigerian Actuarial Society and the government to advance the profession. In conclusion, Dr. Olowo announced forthcoming regulations to govern actuarial practice in Nigeria, ensuring standards and curbing and license activities. He encouraged constructive engagement and collaboration among stakeholders to propel the Nigerian actuarial sector towards sustainable growth and international recognition. Federal government, facilitated by the Central Bank of Nigeria, recently concluded a Nigerian Treasury bills auction, raising a substantial 284.26 billion naira. This action comes at a time when the government's Treasury bills debt has surged to 10.4 trillion naira between December 2024 and March 2023. Between December 2023 and March 2024, marking a significant 60% increase in just 3 months. The auction, as reported by the Debt Management Office and corroborated by data on the CBN website, attracted robust investor interest. Total subscriptions amounting to 773.98 billion naira, far exceeding the total offer of 272 billion naira. This underscores the continued strong demand from investors seeking yield, while also providing critical short-term financing for government expenditures. Treasury bills and federal government bonds are pivotal instruments in Nigeria's debt management strategy, offering investors a relatively secure avenue for investment. These instruments not only help manage the country's debt profile, but also facilitate effective liquidity management and support monetary policy objectives set by the central bank. The auction featured multiple tenors, including 91-day, 182-day, and 364-day bills, each receiving substantial interest from investors. For instance, 364-day bills maturing on June 25, 2025 saw an overwhelming subscription of 671 naira, 697.11 billion naira against an offer of 168.21 billion naira. With an allotment of 219.67 billion naira. This high subscription rate, particularly for longer-term securities, reflects investor confidence amid prevailing economic conditions and expectations of stability. However, the surge in Treasury bills debt to 10.4 trillion naira highlights the government's reliance on these instruments to bridge budget deficits and finance short-term expenditures. Critics have raised the cost of servicing Nigeria's domestic debts, particularly with true yields nearing 30% per annum. Nigeria's total domestic debt reached 65.6 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2024, marking an 11% increase from December 2023, while external debt decreased marginally to $42.1 billion, primarily due to reduced debts owed to international financial institutions. In summary, bonds and treasury bills remain crucial in Nigeria's fiscal and monetary policy toolkit, aiding in both financing government operations and managing liquidity in the financial system. Despite criticisms, these debt instruments continue to play a vital role in stabilizing the economy and reducing external borrowing pressures. At the 2024 Annual Conference of the Association of Capital Market Academics of Nigeria, Atman, SEC Director General revealed that Nigeria's cryptocurrency market is valued at over $400 million. He emphasized the country's significant role globally in crypto adoption and transaction volumes. Agama highlighted that Nigeria witnessed a substantial crypto transaction volume of $56.7 billion from July 2022 to June 2023, reflecting a 9% year-on-year growth. He noted that approximately 33.4% of Nigerians engage in cryptocurrency trading, suggesting an opportunity to leverage this demographic for financial inclusion initiatives targeting the country's 38 million unbanked adults. While acknowledging the potential of cryptocurrencies to facilitate cheaper and more efficient remittances, Agama underscored persistent challenges. These include concerns over illicit activities as reported by Nigeria's Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and broader issues such as regulatory ambiguity, cybersecurity threats, and adequate financial literacy among the population. He stressed the necessity of a balanced regulatory framework to maximize the benefits of crypto assets while mitigating associated risks. Agama called for collaborative efforts among regulators, industry stakeholders, and the public to develop robust regulations that foster a secure, innovative financial ecosystem. In conclusion, SEC Chairman Mairiga Katuka echoed the sentiment that cryptocurrencies present opportunities for Nigeria's financial markets. He urged collective action towards building a resilient capital market aligned with national goals of becoming a prime investment destination under President Bola Tinubu's leadership. The conference provided a platform for discussing the implications of crypto assets and financial market regulation, emphasizing the need for proactive measures to harness their potential effectively while safeguarding against risks. Watching Atn Business on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break. Please stay tuned.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics. Today.
People in the country illegally. That is amazing. Honorables, you human trafficking.
So no agreement will be.
Welcome back to ATN Business on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Nigerian Exchange Limited (NGX) has reported a significant surge in trading activities, with total transactions on the local first, reaching 2.35 trillion naira by the end of May. This marks a remarkable 115.40% increase here, highlighting robust market activity and economic reforms and policy adjustment. According to domestic and foreign portfolio participation reports released by NGX, on Thursday, domestic investors maintained their dominance, accounting for approximately 1.79 trillion naira, 79.63% of the total transactions. In contrast, foreign investors contributed 458.29 billion naira, 20.37%. Further analysis of the report reveals that domestic institutional investors led the charge with transactions amounting to naira, surpassing domestic retail investors, which transacted 885.19 billion naira during the period under review. The surge in trading activities coincided with significant policy changes and economic reforms implemented in Nigeria, including the harmonization of the foreign exchange market and the removal of subsidies. These reforms were pivotal in boosting market confidence and attracting foreign investors back to the capital markets. Over the past year, Nigeria experienced a change in leadership accompanied by proactive reforms aimed at strengthening the economy. The monetary policy rate MPR was raised multiple times, reaching 26.25% at May 2024. Monetary Policy Committee MPC meeting reflecting efforts to stabilize the financial system amid inflationary pressures. PwC's Nigeria Economic Outlook report titled Navigating Economic Reforms highlighted that the Nigerian Stock Exchange (NSE) witnessed a remarkable 85.2% increase in market capitalization, rising from 2023 to 56.5 trillion naira in May 2024. This growth was driven by robust performance across sectors, notably oil and gas 124%, consumer goods 104%, insurance 88%, and banking 69%. Moreover, the report noted that the Nigeria 10-year government bond yield surged to an all-time high of 19.30% in May 2024, up from 14.55% in May 2023. The rise in bond yields was attributed to attractive rates on open market operations (OMO) and treasury bills, spurred by the increase in the monetary policy rates. Month on month, NGX reported a slight increase in total transactions from 346.23 billion naira in April to 355.38 billion naira in May 2024, reflecting a 2.64% uptick. Domestic investors continue to drive the market activity, with their participation increasing by 2.53% from 225.40 billion naira in April 2024 to 231.10 billion naira in May 2024. Institutional investors outperformed retail investors during this same period, contributing 117.57 billion naira and 113.53 billion naira respectively. Meanwhile, foreign transactions also uptick, rising by 2.86% from 120.83 billion naira in April to 124.28 billion naira in May 2024. Overall, the robust performance of the Nigerian capital market underscores its resilience amid economic challenges and policy adjustment, positioning it as a critical avenue for investment and economic growth in Nigeria. Nigerian equities market saw a positive turn yesterday, gaining 7 billion naira in market capitalization driven by increased investor interest in Seplat Energy PLC and 32 other stocks. The all-share index ASI edged up by 10.96 points or 0.01% to close at 99,396.23 points, while market capitalization closed at 56.228 trillion naira. The market rally was bolstered by gains in medium and large capitalization stocks, notably Seplat Energy, CWG, Flour Mills of Nigeria, UACN of Nigeria, and United Bank of Africa. Market breadth, a measure of investor sentiment, positive, with 33 stocks recording gains against 16 losers. Leading gainers were Catix and Seplat Energy, each soaring by 10% to close at 4 naira 40 kobo and 3,000 naira and 3,794 naira 90 kobo. Lasako Assurance followed closely with 9.95% increase to 2 naira 32 kobo per share, while CWG rose by 9.85% to close at 7 naira 25 kobo. United Capital also posted a notable gain of 9.79% to settle at 24 naira 10 kobo per share. On the flip side, Dar Communication led the losers with an 8.93% decline to close at 51 kobo per share. CNI Leasing followed with an 8.5% drop to 3 naira, and Consolidated Hallmark Holdings slipped by 7.98% to 1 naira 73 kobo per share. MTN Nigeria Communications and Regency Alliance Insurance also recorded declines of 6.89% and 6.52% respectively. Trading activity surged significantly, with total volume traded increasing by 91.56% to 529.369 million units, valued at 10.493 billion naira, exchanged in 7,616 deals. Guarantee Trust Holding Company GTCO led the activity chart with 66.050 million shares worth 2.93 billion naira, followed by UACN with 46.351 million shares valued at 706.587 million naira. Access Holdings traded 39.707 million shares worth 754.175 million naira. Consolidated Hallmark Holdings traded 31.602 million shares valued at 54.861 million naira, and Universal Insurance sold 30.756 million shares worth 10.531 million naira. Overall, the Nigerian equities market demonstrated resilience and attracted heightened investor participation, reflecting renewed confidence and trading activity across various sectors. Global shares advanced on Friday as investors awaited a crucial inflation report that could shape the Federal Reserve's future interest rate decisions. European markets showed mixed results in early trading. France's CAC 40 slipped 0.4% to 7,503.63, while Germany's DAX rose 0.6% to 18,312.62, and Britain's FTSE 100 edged up 0.4% to 8,210.54. Futures indicated a modest opening for the U.S. markets, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average and S&P 500 futures up nearly 0.1% and 0.3% respectively. In Asia, Japan's Nikkei 225 gained 0.6% to close at 39,583.08, supported by stronger than expected industrial production figures. Australia's S&P ASX 200 added 0.1% to 7,767.50. South Korea's Kospi climbed 0.5% to 2,797.82. And Hong Kong's Hang Seng inched up less than 0.1% to 17,718.61. The Shanghai Composite surged 0.7% to 2,967.40. In economic news, Japan reported better than expected industrial production growth of 2.8% for May, with an unchanged unemployment rate of 2.6%. On Wall Street, major indices closed with modest gains on Thursday, with the S&P 500 up 0.1% and the Nasdaq Composite adding 0.3%. The Jones Industrial Average also rose 0.1%. Investor attention is now focused on the upcoming release of the U.S. Personal Consumption Expenditures Index, PCE, the Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge. Economists anticipate a slight easing in inflation to 2.6% for May, down from 2.7% in April. This comes amid broader declines in inflation metrics from their peaks in mid-2022, which could influence the timing of future Fed rates adjustments. Market sentiment remains cautious as stakeholders weigh economic indicators against the backdrop of persistently high interest rates. Speculation persists that Fed may initiate rate cuts as early as September to mitigate economic slowdown, Economic slowdown risks exacerbated by recent data revisions, showing a sluggish 1.4% annual growth rate in the first quarter of 2024. In commodities, benchmark U.S. crude oil rose to $82.55 a barrel, while Brent crude $6.03 a barrel in energy trading. Currency markets saw the U.S. dollar slightly weaken against the Japanese yen and the euro trading at 160.73 yen and $1.0710 respectively. The global markets remain attuned to the upcoming PCE data as investors navigate economic signals amid evolving Fed policy expectations. Swiss National Bank (SNB) reported purchase in foreign currencies totaling 281 million Swiss francs, $312.47 million in the first quarter of 2024, marking a notable shift from its previous strategy of selling forex to bolster the franc. This move comes after the SNB sold a significant 22.7 billion francs in foreign currencies during the October to December period. The SNB did not provide specific comments on Friday regarding the rationale behind this change in approach. In recent quarters, the central bank had been actively selling foreign currencies to support the franc and mitigate inflationary pressures stemming from higher import costs. However, Switzerland's inflation rate has remained comfortably within the SNB's target range of 0 to 2% for several months. Meanwhile, concerns over the upcoming French elections have driven the franc's value higher against the euro, adding complexity to the SNB's monetary policy decisions. SNB Chairman Thomas Jordan previously emphasized the bank's readiness to intervene in forex markets to stabilize the franc's exchange rate against major currencies. Despite these recent forex purchases, UBS analyst Alessandro B. characterized them as modest and not indicative of a significant intervention against the franc, especially as current exchange rates. B. suggested that if the franc were to appreciate further to around 0.90 against the euro, the SNB might resume aggressive franc selling to weaken its value. Chief economist Carsten Jr. from J. Safra Sarasin viewed the SNB's forex purchases as confirming its decision to halt franc selling activities. However, Juniors noted that the amount purchased was relatively small, indicating a cautious approach from the SNB in current market conditions. He also suggested that the SNB might not be actively participating in forex markets at present. Overall, while the SNB's shift to forex purchases in the first quarter of 2024 marks a change in strategy from recent quarters, analysts remain vigilant for further signals of the bank's intentions regarding the franc's exchange rate amidst evolving economic conditions and geopolitical factors. Saudi Arabia, the world's leading oil exporter, is contemplating a reduction in crude oil prices for Asian buyers in August, continuing a trend from the previous month. This potential price adjustment comes in response to the weakening of the Middle East benchmark Dubai, according to sources in the trading industry. For Saudi Arabia, Asia represents approximately 80% of its total oil exports, making the region crucial for its pricing strategy. Sources familiar with the matter indicated that the official selling price (OSP) for Arab light crude, Saudi Arabia's flagship grade, could decline by 60 to 80 cents per barrel compared to July. If implemented, this would mark the lowest OSP since April and reflects a strategy to stay competitive amidst increasing supplies from non-OPEC countries like Mexico and Canada. Moreover, heavier grades such as Arab Medium and Arab Heavy are expected to see slightly deeper price cuts than Arab Light. This adjustment is influenced by improved supply conditions from North American producers, which have prompted refiners in China, a major importer, to reduce their imports from Saudi Arabia for the third consecutive month in July. This decision to potentially lower OSPs for August aligns with the narrowing of backwardation in Dubai's price spreads. Backwardation indicating higher immediate prices compared to future months has contracted by 85 cents this month from May, suggesting easing supply constraints. Despite these adjustments, global crude futures have been bolstered by ongoing production cuts from OPEC Plus and robust summer demand in the Northern Hemisphere. Analysts foresee a positive in this quarter, although non-OPEC producers in the Americas are expected to ramp up their production. The Saudi crude OSPs typically announced around serve as a benchmark for setting prices by other key exporters in Asia, including Iran, Kuwait, and Iraq. These adjustments impact approximately 9 million barrels per day of crude destined for Asian markets. Saudi Aramco, the state oil giant, formulates its OSPs based on customer feedback and comprehensive evaluations of oil value changes over the preceding month. However, the company adheres to a policy of not commenting on specific OSP adjustments publicly. In conclusion, Saudi Arabia's potential price cuts for August underscore the ongoing market dynamics influenced by global economic conditions, non-OPEC supply growth, and regional demand shifts, particularly in Asia. In May, Apple's iPhone shipments in China surged nearly 40% compared to the previous year, continuing a rebound observed since April, according to data from the China Academy of Information and Communications Technology, a research firm affiliated with the Chinese government. Foreign branded phone shipments in China, including Apple's, rose by 1.425 million units to 5.028 million in May, up from 3.603 million a year earlier. Apple, although not explicitly named, the CAICT data is the leading foreign phone maker in China, indicating that the surge in shipments likely reflects Apple's performance. The increase in iPhone sales comes after a sluggish start for Apple in China, then fierce competition from low segments. Apple's strategy included aggressive discounts of up to 2,300 yuan, $316.71 on select phones official Tmall site in China during May, which contributed to boosting sales. April in Apple smartphone ship marking a turnaround from a 37% sales decline in the first 2 months of 2023. Apple CEO Tim Cook had previously anticipated growth in iPhone sales across various markets, including China, following an 8.1% revenue drop from the Greater China region in the quarter. The intensified discounting strategy by Apple coincided with Huawei's launch of its new high-end Pro accessory series in April, following last August's introduction of the Mate 6. Huawei, which surpassed Apple to become the second largest smartphone vendor in China in the first quarter, has been expanding its retail footprint, chip stores and distributors, led by its spin-off brand Honor. Overall, smartphone sales in China rose by 16.5% to 30.33 million units in May, as per CAICT data indicating a broader recovery in the Chinese smartphone market, buoyed by domestic and foreign brand strategies to attract consumers. This was iPhone shipments and the effectiveness of aggressive pricing strategies amid competitive market conditions, positioning Apple favorably in the highly competitive Chinese smartphone market landscape. This is why we wrap it up on this edition of Atn Business on Atlantic Television Network in the city of Port Harcourt. I am Susan Abbey. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. Stay connected on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, on X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching.
Our lives are changed by history.
We are one people. All of us.
Leaders,
Everybody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People in the country illegally. That is amazing. You human trafficker. Honorable
They are not picking our calls. They made up their mind.
So no agreement with the EU, but